Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. Um, I'm making this video. It's Friday. It's a little early, but I figure let me make this video before I head out to work. Supposedly today is going to be a very long day at work, but I just wanted to put this out before I leave and basically show everybody what's been going on. I'm pretty sure many of you have heard of the vote that went through Congress about the bill, the SAVE Act, that was actually brought to my attention by some of my subscribers, and I thank you for that. You know who you are. I mean, I try to stay up on everything, and there's just so much information that it's hard to come by, but I'm glad that they brought it up, and it's been all over the news. So it's only right for me to make a video on this, because this is something that a lot of people need to know what's going on and need to be aware of what's going on, because it's getting pretty hairy. And let me tell you something. After everything that has been happening, okay, this past year, and especially through the courts against Donald Trump, the way all those cases are falling apart, it's not surprising that the Democrats are going to go for broke and still fearmonger and put out false information and lies, okay, to the American people, especially their constituents. Okay, they're still pandering on the fact of that black and brown people are having a hard time voting in America. But we're going to get all into that. A couple of things. Another thing, I want to make, and I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm going to do it. I think if I did it once before, to retract some stuff that I had said. My last video I put out, I showed about Maxine Waters talking about Trump saying there's going to be a bloodbath. Now, I'm always talking about that we can't let people bring out the ugly in us, and we have to be very careful. So one of my subscribers brought it to my attention, and I thank you for that. I don't know if that person is still on my channel. Seems like after it was brought to my attention, I lost another subscriber. It is what it is. If you left, like I said, I don't know, but if you did leave because I spoke too soon, okay, on the information I put out, then you know what, then that's your problem. You shouldn't be on the channel. People are allowed to make mistakes. And if I haven't made any mistakes before, and this is the first time that it's being brought to my attention, I think that I'm batting 1,000. But I'm not trying to be cocky about it. I'm not trying to be full of shit about it. What I'm saying is that people are allowed to make mistakes. So I'm here to fix this mistake before I continue with this video. Okay? The mistake was that I came on and said that Trump used that term, the bloodbath, when he was talking about the borders being open. It wasn't that. It was about the car industry, okay, being overrun and not being taken care of. And if he wasn't elected president, that it would be a bloodbath, because China wants to flood the country, and people in the country want to flood America with electric vehicles. Okay, so him saying that if he wasn't reelected, in order to bring the car industry back up, that it was going to be a bloodbath, with the way things were going to go happen, I should say. But also, with that being said, I don't remember which rally he said it in, but there was a couple of rallies where he would talk about, where he's always talking about the influx of illegal migrants and all the crime that they're committing. So if I conflated the two, confusing it, I do apologize for that. Okay, the last thing I want to do is put out any false information or anything like that, especially since I've been watching my channel grow. But that's exactly what the problem was. But it was also me trying to point out how the Democrats keep using words and phrases that he uses, and they blow it out of proportion. So that is why Maxine would have said that, and a lot of Democrats are using that same talking point. They keep using the phrase bloodbath and all that. They keep talking about how he incited January 6th. They keep talking about how he's a convicted rapist. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and it doesn't change. So for me making a mistake about the term that was being used, bloodbath, I apologize for that. For everything else that I got right, it is what it is. But if you still left my channel because of that, I'm not going to apologize for making a mistake. Okay, as far as like, trying to retract it like I'm like some freaking Whoopi Goldberg that just keeps lying, and then I got to come back like a dope and say I'm sorry. No, I apologize for not getting for conflating the two, okay, and getting them mixed up. But I'm not going to apologize as if I keep making mistakes. There's no way. And that's that. So with that being said, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store, TrueOutlaw.Patreon.com. So with all that being said, I'm going to show what's been going on Capitol Hill with members of Congress. Now, this right here should show everybody that the Democrats only want a one-party rule. They want illegals to vote. And I'm going to show you guys some information. If you haven't seen what's going on, I'm going to show you. This first clip is going to be from Forbes. I have to take, well, I don't have to take, but I'm taking another clip from a video that Officer Tatum put out. If you don't know who he is, go to his channel. I'm leaving a link in the description so you guys can see, because it was hard for me to find the certain Democrats that were speaking out against this. Now, keep this in mind, people. 198 Democrats voted against this bill. Okay, only 5 Democrats voted with Republicans to pass this bill that illegals cannot vote. Now, Democrats will come out and say, "Oh, it's going to hurt American voters." You're going to hear what they got to say. I'm going to point out the obvious, because it just makes no damn sense. And if they thought that the bills in place already stop illegals from voting, then why do you have a hard time signing on to another bill? And I'll point out why. But with that being said, let's listen to this. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to the distinguished gentleman, the ranking member of the House Administration Committee, for his tremendous leadership. I rise today in strong opposition to this extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. 17 seconds. Already from what he said, he's already described in 10 seconds, okay, where he's going with this. Every single damn time that somebody wants to pass a bill, that Congress wants to pass a bill that will benefit and protect Americans, the Democrats don't like it because that's not what they want, and right away they have to deem it MAGA extreme. The vitriol already comes in, if I'm using the word correctly. The viciousness that it just spews out of their mouth as soon as they start talking. Okay, this bill has nothing to do with Donald Trump, okay, or his supporters. This bill has to do with keeping the rule of law in America that the Democrats despise. But let's continue.
The right to vote is sacred. The right to vote is special. The right to vote is sacrosanct. The right to vote is central to the integrity of our democracy. It's the foundation of the principle of government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
The problem is, apparently, my extreme MAGA Republican colleagues have concluded that rather than trying to win a debate...
I gotta stop real quick. Do you see how he keeps on, my extreme MAGA Republican colleagues? You know, this is why I'm saying that it's so hard to hold on to your tongue, because these people come, the way they speak, the words that they use, you know, they're the party that say that they pass laws that nobody can use trigger words in order to hurt people on the left, and yet all they do is use trigger words and phrases. They want to bring out that ugly, and they do it so nonchalantly, okay, that it brings out the ugly in people. It aggravates and angers the shit out of me and tens of millions of other people. Okay? And, you know, if it was law, okay, to arrest these people, we wouldn't have a Democratic Party. The same laws that they're passing, and they're not even passing laws, they're just saying it, saying that words are violent. These are the poster children for what they're saying. But let's continue.
And the hearts and minds of the American people, anchored in ideas, they've chosen instead as a strategy to engage in voter suppression. There is no evidence that has been presented to suggest that undocumented individuals have been participating in federal elections. Republicans who investigated these allegations on their own committee have been unable to document these allegations. It is unconstitutional. It is the state of the law that only citizens can vote in federal elections. Only citizens can vote for the House of Representatives. Only citizens can vote for the United States Senate. Only citizens can vote for the presidency of the United States. So this extreme Republican voter suppression bill is not designed to solve any problem on behalf of the American people. It is designed to jam people up.
Okay, now I'm going to stop it right there. Everything he just said is a damn lie. Now, I know some people are going to come and throw me and say, no, it's not. It's true. They're not allowed to vote. That part is true. That part is true. But the part him saying that they don't vote for those positions is a lie. Okay? And I'm going to do something a little different by minimizing this and bringing up an article so people can see. And this is what people need to understand. When it comes to Democrats, it starts out small and it ends up big. Okay? And this is why you need to stop them. From the smallest thing to the biggest thing, especially the small things. Because they make that baby grow. And then it just becomes a beast. Okay? Now we'll get back to the video. I'm going to do something just a little different here, a little unorthodox. But the reason why I say it's a lie is because of this. Okay? This is in 2022, I believe. This is NBC News. New York City Mayor Eric Adams allows non-citizen voting bill to become law. New York City, more than 800,000 non-citizens and dreamers in New York City will have access to the ballot box and could vote in municipal elections as early as next year. After Mayor Eric Adams allowed legislation to automatically become law Sunday. Opponents have vowed to challenge the new law, which the city council approved a month ago. Unless a judge halts its implementation, New York City is the first major city to grant widespread municipal voting rights to non-citizens. Now, people will come out and say, well, how does that matter? It's not a federal election. Because if you have non-citizens voting in local laws to, I don't know, let's say vote somebody like AOC into a low position, what have they done? They've actually helped her to keep moving up the political ladder. This is why I am against non-citizens and, well, forget about the illegals. We already know they're illegal, they're non-citizens. The ones that are here trying to get their citizenship, this is why I am against them voting, period. They should not vote in any school board elections. They should not vote in any local elections. They should not vote in any fucking thing. Okay? Because now Eric Adams has allowed 800,000, this was 2 years ago, 800,000 people to have a voice, 800,000 different ideas. People from other countries that have yet to pledge their allegiance to this country. And it's bad enough that you'll have people like all these pro-Palestinian protesters that are born and raised here in America that are burning the American flag. Never mind people coming from another country coming here and voting on the lower level, because those lower tier politicians end up in Capitol Hill at some point. Okay? So here is the big spin that he's putting on it. We know that they cannot vote in federal elections. Why do we need another bill? Because basically the bill, from my understanding, is also that you cannot vote at all if you're a non-citizen. Now, I haven't read the bill, but if the Democrats are bitching about it, I guarantee you somewhere in the bill, that's exactly what it probably states. And if it doesn't, that's something that they should put in the bill. Do not let illegals vote in anything. Even if it's in your best interest that you agree with them, they agree with you. You have to keep it simple from the beginning. Okay? You have to keep it simple from the beginning. Because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. Many things are going to happen. If anybody remembers the movie Gangs of New York, and it was kind of a funny part in it when they were trying to get people to vote in the elections. There was this one scene, I believe Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the guys that came out the voting booth, he asked him, did you vote today? Yeah, I voted today 10 times, or something like that. He goes, that's it, 10 times? And he grabs him and throws him back in and goes, go vote again. They were just letting people vote 10, 20, 30 times. It was horrible back then. But remember, it's supposed to be based on fact. But now here's the thing. And I'm going to play the video. Don't want to lose anybody. Like I said, it's early. I'm trying to get this out as soon as I can. Not only is this traitorous thug, okay, from Brooklyn, trying to put lipstick on this pig, okay, one of the main things is that the bill says that, well, I guess what they're trying to say is that anybody with a driver's license can vote. Now, listen to the way he phrases people with driver's licenses. And this is not just in New York, okay? It's just ironic that he's from Brooklyn and Eric Adams, passed that law. California has been giving illegals driver's license for God knows how long. Okay? And all you need is a driver's license in many places. And just so everybody knows, I'm doing this a little different, okay? Just to throw everything in. I already read you that article there, so we can delete that. That's by NBC News, okay? This article here, I looked it up. Since 2021, 8.7 million migrants have come into the United States. Some say it's more, some say it's less. Now, it's funny, early this morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, when I ran the same phrase, this wasn't put out by PolitiFact, this number. It was actually 10 million. It's funny how in a couple of hours, it changed. Now it's 8.7 million. But I digress on that. That's besides the point. This is the number. A lot of people say there's more than that. Trump has been saying there's way more than that. Okay? And I'm going to show you proof that it is. Somebody opens up their big fat mouth, and this is how stupid the Democrats are. So that's that right there. So now you got 8.7 million migrants since 2021, and they want to give a lot of these migrants driver's licenses. Okay? We're going to hold on to that right there. The next article that I'm going to show you is not an article. It's something I looked up. And I looked up how many states allow illegal migrants to obtain driver's licenses. 19 states and the District of Columbia, which is Washington, have enacted laws allowing undocumented immigrants to obtain driver's licenses. California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. Okay? Allow illegals, okay, to obtain a driver's license. Does anybody see Texas, Florida? I mean, look at all these states that allow this. Which means what? If they have a driver's license, that, and I'm just throwing this in there, if I'm wrong, somebody point it out, who's to say they don't let them use that driver's license as an ID to go vote in the lower elections, like I've been saying? And when you get somebody in the lower election, they keep moving up politically. So the Democrats are right. Illegals cannot vote in the federal elections. But they're not stupid. They know how to go and spin it around and say, you know what, yeah, we don't get them here, but this is where we're going to get them. We're going to get them on the lower tier. It's about keeping a one-party system. Okay? Because if they cared, they would not let illegals vote in any way. And here's another thing. Okay, I'm trying to crush all this in. This whole thing about that having voter ID is unconstitutional. It's bullshit. Okay, everybody has ID. The reason why they don't want to use ID for voters, okay, especially when you're out there, you know, you're going to use it so like that you're able to vote, is because then they can tell who is illegal that shouldn't vote and who's not. Okay, but once again, they're going to use the American black population and the American Latino population as their scapegoat. Once again, and I've been saying this since I started my channel, that is their game. They fearmonger the black and Latino community, to vote for them about the big bad white boogeyman. But yet what they're doing, okay, is using them for the vote and then giving the illegals everything that belongs to them. And it baffles my freaking mind why so many people, okay, never mind the white liberals, never mind this, never mind that, you know, and I hate using all these damn terms, white liberal and minority. I'm so sick of it. This is why I say American black, American Spanish, American white, because the Democratic Party and a lot of Republicans, and I get so freaking upset with them because they don't fucking fight back hard enough. You need to stop using these things, and you need to stop labeling people. If you're an American, you're an American. That's it, plain and simple. Enough with the freaking minority freaking jargon talk. Enough with the freaking African American and Latino American. You're an American first. Okay? Because now they're using the illegals to say that they're Americans. You don't believe me? Check this out. Listen to what this man, the way he phrases it. Because now the Democratic Party are looking at people with driver's licenses as Americans. Do you see what's going on? Pay attention. Listen to this.
And prevent Americans from voting. The extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill will not allow Americans to vote who have a state-issued driver's license.
Do you see what he just said? Will not let Americans vote who have a state-issued driver's license. When the hell did anybody hear of that? What he's basically saying is that anybody that's allowed to get a state-issued driver's license is an American, meaning illegals that get a state driver's license is considered an American now. Did you see how he freaking spun that around?
The extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill will not allow Americans who are serving in the military. When
has anybody ever heard that? That is a lie. Anybody born and raised in America that is in the military is still allowed to vote. The reason why I bring that up, because if anybody remembers videos that I put out months ago, Dick Durbin, a Democrat, wanted illegals to join the military. Do you see how they're playing this game? So now, oh, it gets better. So now he's saying that states that issue driver's licenses, people cannot vote if they have a state-issued driver's license. Undertone meaning illegals. People serving in the military are not allowed to vote. Undertone meaning what Dick Durbin wanted, illegals to join the military. Who's next? Oh yeah, that's right. Now he's going to say college kids. Anybody know the word DACA? And who are DACA recipients? They're not citizens. They're not citizens. They're children of illegal migrants. They're here illegally themselves. They're getting schooling. They're not considered citizens. And now he's going to say that college kids can't vote. Pay attention.
To use their military ID while they're serving this country to vote. The extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill won't allow young people, college students, who are attending state universities all across the land, who have been issued college IDs through their state colleges and universities, to vote.
Okay. Bullshit. Once again, he's lying. Every college student is issued an ID. Okay? In order to register as a voter, you have to register. You get another registration card. I have mine in my wallet. I'm pretty sure whoever's registered has theirs. For him to say that college students cannot vote, cannot use their college ID, that may be true. But what he's trying to say is, again, undertone. The DACA students, and I had to look that up to figure out what is it with, whatchamacallit, with the DACA students. I'm flipping through here, okay? The U.S. is home to more than 407,000 undocumented students, including DACA recipients enrolled in higher education. They take up about 1.9% of all post-secondary students. You see how they're going with this, people? This is why they're against that SAVE Act bill. It doesn't stop an American citizen from voting. It stops illegals from voting with their state-issued driver's license, their college ID, and their military ID. If they want to join the military in order to pledge their allegiance, it doesn't make them a citizen. Remember, Dick Durbin said that in order for them to get that citizenship, they should serve in the military to prove their allegiance to America. More or less, I'm basically just paraphrasing here. But it doesn't give them the right to vote. Yes, you can serve in the military, but it doesn't give you the right to vote. Now he's over here saying this. I'm going to watch what I got to say. He's basically saying the quiet part out loud. And the reason why I get so freaking pissed off is because instead of the Republicans jumping back, getting on that podium and pointing out what I'm pointing out, they won't. And if they have, good. I hope I see the video that they do. But let's continue.
There's a big difference between the House Democratic view of free and fair elections, the peaceful transfer of power, and government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and the extreme MAGA Republican view. House Democrats want to make it easier to vote and harder to obtain weapons of war. Extreme MAGA Republicans want to make it harder to vote and easier to deploy weapons of war.
Okay, listen, you dipshit. He just basically shoved his whole damn foot in his mouth, because he's over here trying to conflate the two and make it where it's wrong. First of all, you're talking about the Second Amendment, okay, which gives everybody the right to keep and bear arms, okay? And you're also talking about the Constitution and laws that say if you're not an American, you can't freaking vote. But you see the spin they try to put on this? I'm telling you, how the people in Brooklyn, they must be just as fucking dumb as the people in the Bronx that voted for AOC. Okay? They must be just as dumb to vote this man in. Okay? Because how do you look at this if you know anything? And I don't know everything. And that's why I had to make my retraction this morning, because it was pointed out to me by one of my subscribers, who I think is one of my subscribers, telling me to please go back and look up the original phrasing of what Trump said about the bloodbath. And I did. Okay? How do people in Brooklyn, how do people in the Bronx who voted for AOC and Hakeem Jeffries not listen to the way they try to put a spin on all this and not come out and say, you know what, no, wait a minute, you're wrong on that. And if you're going to keep pushing the lie over and over and over and over again, like certain YouTube channels, one of them is Midas Touch, they put out lie after lie after lie after lie every single video, every single day, every single one of them. False information, misinformation. How they're not freaking shut down is beyond me. How they got millions of subscribers, to hundreds of thousands of views every video is beyond me. But I digress on that. But when it comes to a political leader putting the spin on this, trying to make it sound like it's fact, and people on the other side of the aisle are not in his damn face, that right there blows my mind. That's one of the things that blows my mind. You know, I've had people tell me, you know what, Hemi, you know, you could learn a lot, and you should go out there and talk and, you know, start small like in the Bronx and all that. And I'm like, I wouldn't last. They'd either try to take me out in the first month, or they would just try to destroy my character like there's no tomorrow. It'll be more, and not that I'm afraid, you know, to fight the good fight, but I would not be able to contain my tongue, okay, against these people. I would not have this so-called, like they like to say in Congress, when they have all these meetings, okay, and all these hearings, let's show some decorum. Man, fuck decorum. Ain't no decorum that these people freaking deserve. And that goes for a lot of Republicans too, that I would not support and vote for. They don't deserve any decorum. Okay? You want respect, you give respect. That's the way it is. But you think I'm going to sit in front of these politicians, listen to them say every single time, you know, MAGA extremists, this and that, knowing that they're talking about my people, the people that are voting with me, the people that are standing up with me on topics that benefit society, that benefit the family life and all that praise God. You think I'm going to sit there and just let them keep using their words to belittle me without me coming out and taking it out on them and cursing at them? It's not going to happen, man. I'm born and raised in the damn Bronx. If I got something to fucking say, I'm going to say it. Plain and simple. If you don't like it, you can just go kick fucking rocks. Okay? But let's continue.
Weapons, by the way, not used to hunt deer, but to hunt children in classrooms and human beings. So, Extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill has given us an opportunity again to communicate with the American people on the difference between our values, House Democrats, putting people over politics, focus on the things that matter, like lower costs, growing the middle class, ending price gouging, defending democracy, and fighting for reproductive freedom.
You mean high taxes like everything's been happening, abortion, which is not reproductive freedom, is actually just, just freedom to murder, basically. And once again, he's going to stand there and just spin it all around. It's disgusting, it's evil, and it's demonic. Okay? And people keep voting these people in. But let's continue.
We embrace having a debate
Bullshit.
with our extreme MAGA Republican colleagues about issues that matter. Why won't you just take your issues to the American people? Why are you trying to hide your plans that are connected to Trump's Project 2025?
And here's another thing. He brings up Project 2025. What the hell does that have anything to do? Number one, what does this bill have to do with Trump and this so-called Project 2025? See, they just won't get off his shit. And this is the fear-mongering that they keep putting out, okay? The Republicans don't fight back hard enough, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who just says it like it is, okay? They keep talking about decorum instead of getting in their face and calling them and saying, you're nothing but a damn liar. Because first of all, even though Donald Trump is for this so-called Project 2025, he has also said that there's things in it that he doesn't like. He didn't come up with this Project 2025. This is something that was in the making for decades now, from an organization that has been trying to find somebody to implement their so-called project. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, me listening to one of the founders of this so-called project said that it wasn't just made, okay, for a Republican to pick it up and try to pass it. It was for somebody that cares about America. Meaning, I guess what he was saying, that even if a Democrat would have picked it up and said we're going to implement this this way of laws or whatever the hell it is, then it was okay. The thing is, trying to find a Democrat that has any fucking morals, any scruples. Okay? But here he goes, once again, with all the damn bullshit and just trying to pin it on Trump. And Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025, okay? And definitely nothing to do with this law. This is common sense law. But then again, we got our answer. The Democrats don't have any fucking damn sense. No common sense whatsoever. But let's continue.
Publicly, but then you come to the House floor and you bring this extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill that is part of the blueprint of Trump's Project 2025. You can't fool the American people.
Yeah, you got that right.
Smarter than you think.
You got that right.
You don't want to have a real debate about issues. Why? Because the extreme MAGA Republicans want to criminalize abortion care and impose a nationwide ban. They're trying to hide that now.
No, that's bullshit. Okay, once again, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade because they said it should never have passed from the beginning. It gave the federal government the power to, depending on the who's in power, and it just seems that with the Roe versus Wade topic, that the Democrats have always had a stronghold on it. So now the Supreme Court had to check it out again and say, you know what, no. Just like many other laws, the states, okay, should be in charge of certain laws. Abortion should be a state issue, not a federal issue. But they keep trying to make it seem like, oh, they took away the rights of women having abortions. No, they did not. They left it up to the state. If the state says, no, you are not allowed to have an abortion unless it's for this, this, and this, which that list is very small, people get offended. Well, then move to a state. If you're so worried about that at some point in your life you're going to get an abortion, if you're pre-planning it that you're going to have a just-in-case abortion, then move to the state that's willing to give it to you. Because I, for one, I cannot imagine a girl, okay, turning 18, going and living on her own, and the only thing on her mind for the next 10 years is that if she gets pregnant, she will not have the right to have an abortion. Knowing that there's many other things that she should be worried about in her life. But this is how the Democrats use people. Okay? This is the fear that they put into people. And the Republicans, in my opinion, the vast majority of them do not fight back hard enough. You have to point your finger in their faces. Okay? Forget decorum. It doesn't mean you have to hate these people, but you should not let them keep getting away with their bullshit. Well, let's continue.
From the American people, stripping it from their convention platform. We know what you really want to do. You put the justices, the extreme MAGA Republicans,
Here we go.
put the justices on the Supreme Court who detonated Roe v. Wade. That's your agenda. That's part of Trump's Project 2025.
Here we go again.
You don't want to debate the issues. You want to suppress the right to vote. Why? Because Trump's Project 2025, which is part of your platform, wants to detonate and destroy the Department of Education.
The Democrats took care of that.
American people don't support. You don't really want to embrace the ability for young people of every race, of every part of America, including the heartland of America and rural America, and Appalachia and suburban America, to get a high-quality public education. That's what Trump's Project 2025 is about. And you don't really want to have a discussion about that. You don't want that exposed to the American people. So we're on the floor right now with an extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill that does nothing.
I love the way he keeps repeating it. Extreme MAGA Republican voter suppression bill. And they all keep repeating it. And people that have soft minds, they keep absorbing that shit. Okay? They keep absorbing it. And it's like, why? You keep talking about that you're a free thinker. But why can you not see that they keep repeating something? And if it really concerns you, why don't you go and do the research to find out if it's true or not? And when you find out that it's not true, why do you keep going back to that same person and voting for that same person? If you see that, let me tell you something, I hold no bones that if I feel that Trump is going to let me down, I have no bones about it, he will not get my vote. That's just the bottom line. Okay? And I may piss off some people here, being that I'm born and raised in the Bronx. I have not watched, and let me rephrase this, because I've watched 1 or 2 games, okay, in the past 4 years. I was an avid Yankee fan. Baseball was my shit. Okay? I even got my Yankee tattoo on my elbow for years now. But when they started with the whole LGBT bullshit, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I am a diehard Dallas fan. And not blaming Dallas. But once the NFL just started letting men become cheerleaders and going out there provocative, I was like, nope, sorry. Can't do it. Not going to do it. And I will watch, football season, you could not get me away from the damn TV, especially college. My weekends were mine. Monday night, Sunday, Monday night, when the playoffs were going on, now it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You could not get me away from those games. Now, I'm like, whatever. You want to push your agenda on me? You're going to lose me. The same thing will go for Donald Trump. The same thing will go for anybody I vote for. Why people on the Democratic side keep voting for them, knowing the demonic garbage that they keep putting out, why they keep voting for them is beyond me. And it's true that the enemy knows how to hold on to your mind. Okay? And when you got players like this on that team, like this man right here, this right here is the problem. This is why I say that they should hold no decorum against them. They don't deserve it. They just don't. You don't have decorum for a child molester that's been convicted of rape and murder. There's no decorum. Now, I'm not saying this man is, is one of those, but in a sense, he is if you think about it, they're like mentally raping people, mentally abusing them, okay? Enslaving them with the way they portray everything. But let's continue.
Because the law is already clear. Non-citizens cannot vote in federal elections.
And you see the way he keeps saying it. In federal elections. So if they can't vote in federal elections, why can't all the Democrats stand behind the bill? Because if I had to guess, in the bill, what it really is, that illegals can't vote at all. And once again, if I'm wrong, then it should be that. If you are not a citizen of this country, okay, you should not be allowed to vote. Now, here's the thing about that. They're okay with the states letting illegals vote in local elections, but they're not okay with the states telling women that they cannot have abortions. Do you see the mentality here? Let's continue.
And so, we're going to continue to do everything we can to make sure that the American people can participate in free and fair elections, have the freedom to determine their own destiny by exercising their right to vote.
Exactly. I'm going to stop right there. I got to show the next video. I'm glad he said that, because the majority of American people don't want illegals to vote. So since they say that this is a democracy, okay, even though it's a republic, shouldn't by your own standards give the people what they want? If the majority of Americans are saying, no, we don't want illegals to vote, isn't it majority rule is what you want? Isn't that the way it goes? Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. Because what the Democrats want is a one-party country. That's what they want. They just want a Democratic Party country. That's it. But for the sake of time, I'm going to, like I said, without trying to edit, I'm going to show what Officer Tatum, I'm going to put the link. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it was hard for me to put everything together with Forbes. But here are a couple of people that he's going to let talk. Now, the woman that was standing behind Hakeem Jeffries was this woman. Listen to what she has to say.
John Lewis didn't give up, and neither will we. Mr. Speaker.
And just to point that out, she's from Alabama. Okay? I can tell you, and I love Alabama. I know many people in Alabama, stuff like that. But there's a lot of people in Alabama that are fed up with the illegals coming in. There's a lot of crimes being committed in Alabama by illegals. And when I mean crimes, I'm talking rape included. It's swept under the rug by the powers that be. Let's put it that way. But let's continue.
House Republicans' so-called SAVE Act is a dangerous anti-democratic bill that has no place on this floor. It is for that reason that at the appropriate time, I will be offering a motion to recommit this bill back to the committee. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the motion to recommit. Thank you, and I yield back to that.
Okay, now I'm going to pause right there, and then I'm going to speed it up because there's somebody else, not this woman right here. The Spanish woman, that's a whole other story. She's a Democrat from Illinois. We already see what's going on in Chicago. The one that was really interesting is this woman right here. Okay, listen to what she has to say. Hold on. Like I said, I'm not. Listen to her.
Before she starts.
But listen, Officer Tatum.
I'm not trying to be racist right now, and I swear I'm not a part of the Klan, and I'm not a part of white supremacists. But sometimes they got a point. Why is it that the dumbest people in America are minorities? Now, there's a lot of good, smart minorities, but when you look at this diversity theology, the more diverse we get, the stupider people are. Every single person on that literally spoke are minorities, and they are completely ignorant, evil, deceptive. Why is that? It seems like the party of the most diversity is the worst party.
Exactly.
It seems like the places in America that's most diverse are the worst to live. Y'all making the case for white supremacists. Why can't we have a diverse group of people who got common sense?
We do. Okay? It's called conservatives, Republicans. You know, in the county that I live, where I'm living at, the state that I'm at, I chose to live here years ago, bouncing around different states after I left New York. And I was like, you know what? If I ever go anywhere back to like settle my bones, it's going to be here. And here I am. And let me tell you something. I do see the influx of people coming in from other states. You see it. Okay? The ignorance, the bullshit. But it's still a red state stronghold, a red county stronghold. As a matter of fact, I make the claim, me personally, I make the claim that this is what helped Donald Trump. The county I'm in is what helped Donald Trump win in Florida. I'll get to that in another video. Now everybody knows where I'm at. I really don't give a shit. And I'm proud to say it. But where I'm at, it's got to be 90-95% conservative. All different races. Okay? And it works like clockwork, man. Even though the economy is bad, it works like clockwork. You know why? Because nobody here is looking at each other's color. We're looking at what we have in common. Okay? We're looking at what we have in common and how it benefits other people, especially those that want to come in and get away from all the democratic chaos. But there are some people sneaking in. I can see it. I listen. Okay? And Officer Tatum is right. The party that's supposed to be supposedly the most diverse is the most confused, corrupt, and like demonic. Because what they want, it doesn't fit the right plan. What they want is destruction. They want abortion, gay marriage. They want to mutilate children. None of that, okay, is a good thing. None of that is part of God's plan for a better society. But in their eyes, in their overlord's mind, in their overlord's way, he puts into their minds, this is what's good. And it's not. Let's continue.
Attack right now, right here with this very bill. Republicans want to throw up barriers because when people vote, they lose. Let me be clear.
When people vote, they lose. Well, according to y'all, Donald Trump lost the last election. And the biggest turnout in American history. So what are you saying? She don't know what she's saying.
They don't want you to vote. They don't want to hear black voices, brown voices, LGBTQIA voices, young voices. Our fundamental access to our...
You know, it's like, what do you mean they don't want to hear these voices? First of all, when you say young voices, how young? Because everybody knows you could only vote after a certain age. Okay? Except if you live in the Bronx back in the 80s. Okay? And I had first knowledge of that when it came to a local election for Mayor Dinkins, okay, being that they had the voting booths in the schools, they were letting young kids vote. 14, 15, 16 years old. They were sneaking them in to vote. And no, this is not disinformation. Okay? It's facts. Okay? So if you're talking about that, you're wrong. As far as you're saying that they don't want black and brown and gay people to vote, show me a black person, a Hispanic person, a gay person that was denied to vote because of what she's explaining because of their skin color or their sexual orientation. Okay? I want to see the video footage. I want to see what, if it was hidden, whatever. I want somebody to show me that come out and say they want to vote, and somebody came out and told them, you can't vote because you're black. You can't vote because you're Spanish. You can't vote because you're gay. You're not going to hear it. You're not going to see it. And if you do, that person that said that should be arrested. Plain and simple. That's common sense. Okay? But the same way they keep saying that Donald Trump's a racist, yet all you see is videos of this man schmoozing with black people for the past, I don't know, 40 fucking years. Never once hearing a man call, say, a derogatory term towards a black person. But yet they keep saying that he's racist. But let's continue.
Our democracy is being politicized. And this xenophobe...
What is LGBTQ voices got to do with this?
Thank you.
The attack that we're debating today will make it harder for Americans to vote. My Republican colleagues will claim that requiring IDs is a small ask, but nearly 30 million people lack a valid driver's license. And about 15 to 18 million adults don't have access to documents proving their birth.
Okay, now you see, she just said the quiet part out loud. I'll play it again. Now mind you, I'm going to throw something into this. Listen to what she says.
My Republican colleagues will claim that requiring IDs is a small ask, but nearly 30 million people lack a valid driver's.
See, nearly 30. I'm sorry, I'm going to play it one more time. Listen to what she says.
Small ask, but nearly 30 million people lack a valid driver's license.
Nearly 30 million people lack a valid driver's license. If anybody's been watching Trump's rallies, what's the number of illegals he says that he's getting from Intel that they say? Politico put out and said, what, it was 8.7 million? Trump has been saying for the past year that his intel has told him that it is up to nearly 30 million illegals that they think have entered the country. 30 million illegals that don't have what? You guessed it, a driver's license that can be used as what? A form of ID that can be used to do what? Vote in a local election. You see this? Listen to this.
About 15 to 18 million adults don't have access to documents proving their birth or citizenship.
You heard what she just said? 15 to 18 million adults don't have the right paperwork for citizenship. Do you see? They want illegals to vote. This is how freaking... It's not even that they're stupid anymore. They're basically telling people what they want. They're telling America what they want. We want to take over. We want the illegals to vote. We want to stay in power.
Americans don't need more obstacles. It's already hard enough.
And I'm going to leave it at that. I left the link in the description so you guys can see the rest, because Officer Tatum goes off. I'm not going to take away his juice. But this is the Democrat from Pennsylvania. So now you got New York letting 800,000 people vote in the local elections. You got this one from Pennsylvania that wants the same thing. You got Jeffries for Brooklyn, New York wants the same thing. You got the woman from Alabama that wants the same thing. I showed you the list of all the states that allow people to have driver's licenses that are illegal immigrants. People have been too damn complacent with all this. And this is why people need to go out there and vote against what the Democrats want, vote for the bill, go to your local leaders, tell them what you want. You have to tell them we don't want illegals voting in anything. And I know that it may take away from something that is good. Let's just say the school board. Okay? But sometimes you're going to lose a small battle. You're going to lose, a small battle so you can win the war. The Democrats want to win every skirmish, every battle, every war. They want to win everything. And I've been saying it for the longest. They'll do it by hook or by crook. They've already implemented the seed years ago to come out and say, well, give the illegals this, give the illegals that, and they like I said, they take a small thing and they let it grow big. They keep feeding that baby till it becomes a damn beast. Okay? And out of The vote that came out, only 5 Democrats voted with the Republicans for this bill to be passed. But now people are saying that it'll be shot down in the Senate. And this is why, come November, come next year, the presidency has to be taken by the Republicans, and the Senate, everything has to be taken by the Republicans. Okay, the rhinos need to be voted out, the Democrats need to be voted out. As far as the local elections, the smaller ones, that's up to the people in the communities to decide what it is that they want to do. But if you want this shit to stop, you need to go out there and vote, especially in the school board system. Okay? Trump is talking about abolishing the Board of Education. I am 100% for that. Abolish it. Get rid of it. Start from scratch. It's going to hurt a lot of teachers, good teachers, I know. But obviously, they will get their jobs back when everything gets rebuilt. There will be things put in place, in my opinion. I think a lot of these teachers, and I know I'm going a little off topic, they need better pay and they need better work surroundings, if I'm saying it the right way. But those are things that could be worked on by the community. Okay? But as a whole, for this country, for this nation, these Democrats are trying everything that they can before November. And I'm telling you, watch the voter registration numbers. Okay? Do your homework. Make sure you know how many people are registered to vote in your communities, in your states, in your counties. Okay? We already know what happened in 2020. The numbers don't add up. They just don't. And more information is coming out of states where even sheriffs are getting involved and saying, wait a minute, we're looking at this. We're 500,000 voters extra, and we don't have that many registered people. We don't even have that many people living in the damn county. Never mind having 500,000 extra freaking voters. But the Democrats and the mainstream media and social media, they're pushing back on that, saying, no, that's not true. That's all a lie. That's not true. And it's not. It's facts. Just like everything I'm showing you here is facts. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around, give it a thumbs up. If you want to help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store, TrueOutlawPatriot.com. So remember, people, get out there and vote. Okay? Get out there and vote and do the right thing. Pay attention. Seriously, pass this information around. Okay? Let people know what's going on. Let them know how the Democrats, and look up the list of all the Democrats that voted against this, and they're saying that they believe in democracy. They're using American black people and American Latinos, okay, to do their dirty work, just to have more illegals come in and vote and keep their party in power. They're actually doing what a lot of these people are running from. Okay, they're implementing their communistic ways. Their socialist Marxist ways. They want a one-party rule. Okay? This is why they're letting in so many illegals, because they know they're not going to catch every single one of them that are going to vote for them, because they're running from these communist countries because of the one-party rule. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for this country, keep praying for the children, and keep praying for Donald Trump. Peace.